Okay. So, Happy New Year, guys. So, it's officially 2019. It's crazy how fast 2018 went. Last year just zoomed by. And I think we finished the year strong. And I'm so ready for 2019. I mean, I'm so excited. There's so many big plans this year. Traveling, for one, is just going to be a big one. We have a big plan to go to Canada. Joe and I are going to take my grandmother to Canada. It's kind of a dream trip. We're going to go on a 2-week vacation out there, up there, and go through Canada via train. Stop at various cities, check them out. And I've already kind of reached out to some people on social media to find out any kind of cool places in those cities to check out. Hopefully we could do some meetups while we're there. Also, we're going to go on a kind of a cruise through Alaska and stuff like that. So it's going to be huge. I'm so excited to do that. But we've got so many other places to go to. I kind of want to go back to New York. We're going to go to Illinois. I want to go to Texas. Like, there's so many cool places to go to check out. California also. So many different places, and I know you guys have been reaching out like crazy, asking us if we're going to go there or come here or whatever. Yes, we will end up going there eventually, I'm sure. But there's the U.S. is a huge place, and we want to do some international traveling, especially go to UK, Australia, everywhere. We are just about in a place where we're finally free enough to be able to do that. We just need to make sure that everything's ready in terms of capital so that we functionally can do that. We spent all day today, all day this morning basically, from like 9 to like 3, dealing with tax stuff and business stuff and banking stuff to get everything ready to close out 2018 and really give us the best opportunity to go 2019 smooth and relatively stress-free in terms of like the business infrastructure, so that Joe and I can just enjoy making fun and awesome content. I mean, I'm out tonight. Let's see, well, it's 2 in the morning. I gotta work in the morning. I think Joe's out shooting a video for the other channel. I passed out. Well, I laid down for like, for a quick 30-minute power nap because I was tired, and I woke up 6 hours later. So just went to the gym, got back, and figured I'd come out here and just have a chat with you guys. It's been a minute since I've done a video for the vlog channel. And, I have some things on my mind, and I know you guys have been asking kind of for us to kind of talk about our plans and stuff like that. We did a live stream where we kind of talked about it a little bit to close out 2018. But 2019 is going to be wild. A lot of things are up in the air right now. We got a meeting with a producer to talk about a television show, which that is not necessarily set in stone yet, because obviously there's no contracts yet. So we don't know if that's going to happen. But it is an opportunity that we are looking into. Be really cool if we're able to get on television. Be an interesting experience. By the way, check out my Australia t-shirt. Shout out to all my Aussie fans, or all of our Aussie fans out there down under. And shout out to you, Michelle. Love you, hon. She's the one who got us these shirts. Joe's got his as well. But yeah, I mean, it's been a really good, productive few days. I hope you guys had a nice New Year, nice Christmas holiday, whatever you guys celebrate, to close out 2018. I know 2018 was rough for a lot of people, especially it was rough for us, but we are prepared, we are ready. I'm officially doing the custody stuff. We're planning big things for the channels, big things business-wise, big things in our own personal lives. It's crazy stuff, but 2019 is looking to be super awesome year, and I am ready for it. But one thing I did want to kind of talk about tonight, something that's kind of on my mind. It's been on my mind for a little bit, and it's especially on my mind now since I mentioned I'm gonna go into this custody battle. with with my ex and stuff like that. And I know it's a bit of a negative thing. It's been weighing on me for years. It's been an emotional roller coaster. One thing I kind of want to talk about, cause somebody talked to a few people about this, and a lot of people's reactions to what happened are the same, and understandably so. It's kind of a response of like being frustrated, anger, things like that, and they wonder why I'm not doing that. Like, how am I not reacting like that in terms of like anger? And truth is, I've been there, and I've kind of gotten through that. So of course, when this whole thing kind of happened, I dealt with my brush of anger and frustration and disappointment, sadness, etc., etc. And it comes up occasionally, for sure. But the truth is, I've forgiven my ex, so I'm not going into this looking to punish her. I'm going into this to get my son back in my life. I'm going into this to make sure that my son has both of his parents in his life, which I think is extremely important. And regardless of what her choices are or what she's done to me, I'm not going to be that way. And I think that's very, very important. And where that kind of comes down is really, really forgiveness. And forgiveness is kind of a strange thing, right? It's kind of this weird thing where everybody kind of says you should forgive people, and you should, it talks about it in the Bible, and it's something we always kind of discuss, forgiving, turning the other cheek, etc., etc. But I don't think it's talked about in the right context, because people really don't understand what forgiveness is and why it's important and what it really means. And I've been really kind of thinking about that, what it means to me, what I think it means and what I think it means to me, and why I think it might be important, and how it's really impacted my life for the better. And I kind of wanted to talk about that. It's funny, I heard, because I had been going through this for a while, like I said, and you know that I went up to Carolina for like a week to help my grandmother because she was sickly. She was dealing with a lot of stuff, and I needed to help her. And on the way back, going through different states, you know how like the radio stations kind of get weird. I was just kind of turning through, and I came across kind of I guess it was a Christian radio station, maybe a local station. I'm not sure what the station was. I don't remember now, but it's not really relevant to the story. But there was a discussion. I guess it could have been a sermon. I don't know if it was a sermon or just maybe kind of like an audio book type thing where somebody was just kind of going over some ideas, podcast, something like that. But anyway, I was talking about forgiveness and what it really means to forgive. And it was fascinating, and it kind of really got to me. It kind of cut me real deep. Well, not cut me, but like just touched me deep. And it brought tears to my eyes because I really thought about it. And I've been kind of mulling over that, and it's almost like the thing in the back of your head says, I know I should probably forgive, yada, yada, yada. But it was different. This moment was the moment where I truly just kind of let it go, forgave. And it was really, really interesting to me, and I've been thinking about it for quite some time since then, and I wanted to do a video about that. I just didn't really know how to go about it. And I think this time, this particular stage in our life, when I'm kind of starting to get into this custody stuff, and all the stuff is being dragged up, all the history and all the past and everything that happened and all this stuff, I'm in the face of it now again, and it's super, super important. But basically what what was said, and I think I put out a post about this on Twitter a little bit after I heard this, because some other people on Twitter and some of the other social media groups have been saying things that have happened in the past, things like that. Forgiveness is one of those weird things, because forgiveness doesn't necessarily make something not hurt. Forgiveness is not, I forgive you, so therefore what you did was fine, it's okay. And that's kind of, I think, the way it's looked at, and the way it almost feels when somebody apologizes for something that you're really angry about them about, or maybe they really deeply hurt you. Maybe they said something, maybe they did something to you, maybe it was something physical, maybe it was abuse, maybe it was anything. Any range of severity you could possibly think of. Forgiveness doesn't make what they did right. And I think that may be the biggest hurdle to get over. Because forgiveness is almost like saying it's okay. And it's not that. That's really not what it is. Forgiveness, what he said, and actually what I now believe, and you can comment down below, maybe, whether or not you agree or disagree. It's permission to move forward for yourself. It's setting yourself free. Because holding on to anger and letting that anger build up into resentment, it's toxic. It's poisonous. And not only is it toxic to you, it's toxic to everyone around you. Because it gets ingrained in you. It gets ingrained in your personality, how you treat people, how you act people, how you look at people, how you talk to them. And you don't even realize it. But it changes the way you live your life. So forgiving, it's not saying what you did is okay. Forgiving, it's giving yourself permission to move on, move forward, rise above, and let go of the emotional pain and torment that situation caused you. And by doing that, you set yourself free. You set yourself free. And it's an amazing thing once that weight just gets lifted off of you. So, for a long time, I was wrapped up emotionally with what happened. What did I do to exacerbate the situation? What did she do to me? Where's this going to go? How is this all going to work out? Why did this happen? What happened? All these things just going through my head and just running through that memory of coming home that Sunday after a long day of work and everything gone. My family gone, my stuff gone, my apartment empty, and me left with nothing. Broken-hearted. And just that just plays over and over and over in your mind, and it's horrible. And it affected everything I did. Affected my job, affected everything. It really, truly is a poison. And the longer you hold on to that, and the bigger it gets, the heavier the weight, and the more you bury yourself. And the deeper you bury yourself, the harder it is to get out. And until you get to a point where even though you have all of the power in the world to free yourself, to change your life, to move forward and rise above, get success, be happy, you can't see it. This is like all the lights turn out. And all of a sudden you're blind and deaf. to the world. It's a crazy thing, you know. You get to a point where you even question your faith and you question your worth, and then you hit those points where you hit those lows that are so low. Then you start talking, you know. You're thinking maybe I just need to end this. That level of pain that is so bad that you can't take it anymore. And forgiveness is one of the steps to moving past that. Not just forgiving others, but forgiving yourself even. I think a lot of times we don't even realize that that's something you have to do. You have to forgive yourself for the mistakes that you have made and move past it. But that's the thing. It's not saying that what you do is fine. It's not to say that we could still be together. It's not to say that we could still be friends. It's not to say that we could still work together. It's not saying that at all, because it may not be the case. If you're in an unhealthy relationship of any kind and you need to get out of that relationship, then you need to get out of that relationship. If you're in a bad place in your life, you need to move. If you're in a bad career, you need to change it. But forgiving yourself and forgiving others allows you the opportunity to do that. Now, the craziest thing is, like, when you really, really think about it, it seems so obvious. Like, when you feel that level of anger and resentment and hatred and just disgust for someone else, just the only person it really truly affects is you and those closest to you. Mainly you. I mean, think about that. It's almost like, it's like somebody doing something to you, whether it be a mistake or just or something that happens to be malicious or heinous or whatever it is, doing something to you that angered you, hurt you, whatever, and you being so upset with them that you go through this spiral of self-destruction. You punish yourself. They probably wouldn't even have any idea for the most part, unless you told them. So I think, like, right now, me being angry at my ex for what was done serves no purpose, because it's not going to have any impact on her. It's only hurting me. And that's just a crazy freaking thing. As I'm the one sitting here miserable. I'm not going outside. I'm not doing anything. I'm barely eating. Making myself sick. Like, I'm doing that to myself. And nobody should have that power over me. Nobody should have that power over you. And it doesn't make any sense. But it's just the craziest thing. When you get to that level of anger or depression or whatever, you get in this mode of self-destruction. Self-destruction just makes it worse. And then you get even more angry and depressed. It's ridiculous. It's just this circular framework that just keeps you bound in the prison that you've built. It's the craziest thing, but it's so hard to see. And forgiving somebody, is just giving yourself permission. It's the key to unlock the door. It sets you free. And a part of that is understanding where a person came from. Sometimes you can't do that. But a lot of times you can. And if this example, somebody comes to you and says something really freaking hateful to you, really freaking stupid, and you could get angry, you could get upset, or you could understand that person, who knows, may have had a really bad day, may have had a really, really rough life, and that pain manifested itself in a negative expression that happened to reflect on you, and it's really probably has nothing to do with you. But that's what happened, and they probably didn't even have any control over it because they didn't think about it. It was completely unconscious. I mean, think about how many times that you've woken up incorrectly and had something stupid happen to you, and then you went to work and just had just a negative attitude the whole day. That everything little happened to you, you lashed out far worse than you probably should have. I mean, it happens to all of us. So you just got to kind of take that into consideration. Now, some things you can't do that, like I said. You know, if somebody does something like abuse you, that's a little different. I mean, you could probably look at it and say, well, maybe they were abused, or you know, maybe it's just a certain level of ignorance they come from. But it may not necessarily help you move forward. But for forgiveness, the important thing to remember is forgiving someone for what they did to you or what happened, or forgiving yourself for the errors and mistakes that you have made in your own life, is simply just saying, okay, I accepted this happened, and I'm going to move forward. I'm not going to forget, but I'm going to use this to make my life better, or make other people's lives better, or both, really. And that's really all there is to it. I mean, it's crazy the difference it makes in your life, because you could think so much clearer. Because if I went into this whole thing thinking with just anger and just disappointment and frustration and depression, what that would result in is just extremely poor choices. I'd go in this with the intent of just hurting my ex, and that's stupid. Because that would just end up hurting my son, and it's not fair to her, and it just makes me no better. And that's kind of the way I look at it. So yes, I could go in and with guns blazing, and I'm just, you know, and I want, you know, all this stuff, and make all these demands, and because you did all this, I could do that. Most people probably would just expect that, really, but that wouldn't be the right thing to do. It wouldn't be good for me, because it certainly wouldn't make me feel better. After it's done, it wouldn't help any, and I'd still be in the same miserable mindset that I was in before I even did it. So it's stupid. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. And I've made the choice to move past that, move forward from that, and think about what is best for all of us to be happy. What is best for me? What is best for my kid? For her? For my family? For you know, my friends? Everything. And it changes the game. It really does. It's like, I cannot express enough what it's like to have that weight lifted. To now just not have to necessarily understand what happened. Just understand that it did happen. And that I need to move forward with a clear head, a positive mindset, and do what's best for everyone. And I really hope that you guys would do the same thing. And not carry hatred and resentment for the rest of your life. I've seen it. I've seen what it does to people. And it kills you from the inside out. It rots you from the inside out. And you don't deserve that. You don't deserve that. I don't deserve that. Nobody deserves that. Not really. Everybody deserves the best opportunity to be the happiest they possibly could be. And I don't know. I mean, it's just something on my mind. And it's something that's really helped me get through all of this and make the best choices possible to make the next few years the best they could potentially be. And I just, like I said, I mean, it's freeing. It's It's like just the weight is gone. It's just like the first sunlight after a rainy day. It changes things. It really does. So just gonna maybe think about that. Maybe think about that. Try to be conscious of it. Somebody cuts you off tomorrow, almost hits you, runs you off the road or something, and on the cell phone. Try not to take that in and get angry about it. Try to let it go. Something stupid happens at work. Maybe your spouse does something, makes a mistake, pisses you off. Got issues with the kids. Try forgiving them. Try not taking that in as a burden. It's hard. And the worse the situation is, the harder it is, but I'm telling you, it's freaking worth it, man. It is so incredibly worth it. Anyway, I really love you guys, and I love making the content. I'm so excited about this year. Cannot express that enough. And you guys have been so awesome to give us this opportunity to make this happen in our lives and do big things and give us a platform where we can make cool content and make some entertaining content and make you guys laugh, make you guys cry, scare you a little bit, take you guys out of your own world onto an adventure with us. And it's been a wild ride, man, the last 2 years. I think about it all the time. I'm like, man, 3-4 years ago, I never would have thought I would be here. You know? And it's crazy how life works out, really. You know? Sort of serendipity of it all. How everything just kind of works out. Just gotta have faith. Gotta lead with your heart first. Keep a big ass smile on your face. And you'll be well on your way. Anyway, I wish everyone a happy, awesome 2019. Please stick with us. Continue supporting us. And we'll keep working super hard to bring you guys great content. But I love you guys. I really do. Peace.
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.